Engineering students, this is your tutorial on creating a exploded view and parts list in Autodesk Inventor. So the first thing that we do after we create a new sheet is that we're going to go ahead and click on Base in the Place Views context menu. The Drawing View box pops up and we're going to select a new file. So we're going to go over to the icon with a folder and a magnifying glass. We're going to click on that folder magnifying glass. And this is where you're going to navigate to your PuzzleCube folder where you created your exploded view. Once you have that file selected, you are just going to go ahead and click Open, and it will begin to pop up. When it first pops up, you can see here that it defaults to the front view. At least for me, it defaults for the front view. And we want a three-dimensional view of this object. So using the View Cube, I'm going to select the Home button. And you can select any of these other corner buttons depending on which view you think is the most appropriate. That will change the view of your exploded view, and I can kind of move this off to the left a little bit. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to click and hold. I'm going to kind of drag it up to the left-hand corner. Now I'm going to do a few things. First thing, I'm going to make sure that my style called shaded is selected. That means it kind of has a blue shade to it. That's going to give us our colors. Second, under the scale, this is a little bit smaller of an exploded view, and I want to make it a little bit larger. So I'm going to start with 1/2. And again, I want to make sure it's not hanging off the page, it's not hanging out of the border. I want to make sure it's in the border correctly. Next, once I have this in the correct location, and I feel that my 1/2 inch scale is good, I'm just going to go ahead and select OK. It does create trails. If you turn those on, you can turn those trails off, but these trails are kind of nice because it does indicate where this part is coming from. Next, after you have this exploded view, you will want to go into the exploded view page, the WTHS IED, click on the arrow, and then select the field text. In the field text, you want to make sure you put your scale at 1 to 2. So mine's already filled in, but this would be blank. This would be 1:2, and you can select OK. Next, we're going to create a parts list in the bottom right-hand corner. To do this, we're going to go to the Annotate context menu, and in the Table panel, we're going to select Parts List. In this Part List box, the first thing it wants to do is select the view. Yes, you can have multiple exploded views on one sheet. In this case, we only have one, so we want to select that with our cursor. It should bring it in here under the Open place. And we're not going to change any other options for today. We're going to select OK. When that happens, appended to our cursor is going to be a little box. We're going to take that box and we're going to put it in the bottom right-hand corner. And if you do this correctly, it should snap to the bottom right-hand corner. For me, I need to open up my assembly and change it. For you guys, you probably don't need to do this. I'm going to hit OK. And we get our part list. It has our item, our quantity, a part number, and a box that's called description that's blank. For this assignment, we don't need this description box. So what we're going to do is we're going to right-click, and we're going to edit our parts list right here. Not the style, but edit the parts list. Once we select this, a preview of our parts list comes up. We're going to go to the upper left-hand corner. We're going to select Column Chooser. In Column Chooser, there is available properties on the left and selected properties on the right. You can see there are many properties that we can add or remove from our object. Right now, we only have 4 selected: item, quantity, part number, and description. We want to get rid of description, so we're going to select it and remove it and put it back into the available properties pool. So that means we only have 3 selected properties. You can move these up and down if you want to rearrange their order. The top one is the one on the left, but we'll leave it like this. We're going to select OK. Preview comes up. We like what we see, so we select Apply. You should see a change, and we're going to select OK. The last part of the exploded view is going to be to add balloons to it. Now, we add balloons as callouts to the individual parts. This one is pretty easy if you have the color on, because you can see, okay, blue piece is number 1. I see a blue piece on there. We use different colors. But if we ever have to print this out in black and white, or we have someone who has a hard time distinguishing between colors, then we need to add these little bubble callouts so that they can easily see, okay, which one is number 1, which is number 2. So I'm going to go up here in the table panel again, and I'm going to select balloon. Then I'm going to go to each part, and I'm going to select the part and create a balloon for each one. Now wherever you start with your cursor, that's where it's going to start the arrowhead of the balloon. So I like going to kind of the edge and clicking, and you can see here it started in that corner. And I'm going to drag out, click once, and then I'm going to go to the left or right a little bit. In this case I'm going to go to the right, and I create a little angle and then a perpendicular line, or I should say a parallel line to the bottom, horizontal. And that makes it look a little bit more professional, and I can double click. And that puts the one bubble in there. And I'm going to do that with the remaining ones. So number 2 is the green piece. I select it, move over. Number 3 is the violet piece. Select it, move over. 4 is the orange piece. And then the yellow piece. Not all arrowheads need to go up and to the right. Some can go down and to the right, but you kind of want to follow this obtuse angle that we have here. There's always an obtuse angle. And there you go. You have your exploded view and your parts list. Say you decide to come back and you're like, hey, you know what, I can make this a little bit bigger. You could change the scale. If I wanted to go to, say, 5/8, I could go 5/8 and I could bring that more onto the screen. And if I did do that, I would have to go back into my field text and change this to a scale of 5/8. So there you go, there's your exploded view.